welcome back to my channel, Jamie Friend Colors. Today we are going to be coloring in our Anastasia Koldareva's newest book, Blackbird Song. How pretty. We are doing this picture here. Now, this is part 2 of this picture. There'll probably be 3 parts, but this is part 2. We've already base coated him with Who alcohol markers. So if you want to know how to do that, go watch that video. Today we're going to be tackling our dashing young man here. So I have picked my pencils. I have picked Polychromos pencils, and yeah, we're going to do him. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be fun. So I have picked a couple of pencils for his eyes here. This is Juniper Green. This is our darker color. His eyes aren't very big. We don't have a ton of real estate here, but we're going to put the darker color in the shadows, so on the edges of his eyes. This eye is mostly in the shadow, so we're gonna have quite a bit there. All right. And then we're going to take this Cobalt Green color and just kind of try to put in some highlight areas, kind of to make his eyes pop a little more. There we go. Okay, I don't know how well you guys can see that, but then the next thing to really make his eyes stand out is we're going to take some white ink, if you, in whatever form you have. This is a Jelly Roll 08 in white, and we're going to put a highlight or 2 in his eye to make it really kind of come alive there. Okay. Now I'm also going to take that Cobalt Green color, and I'm just going to very lightly add some to the white of his eyes around the edges, just to give some shading. That white part of your eye really isn't very white if you go look in the mirror, so we're just going to add a little color in there, just to give it a little something something. Okay, just very lightly though. All right, he's got eyes. That is exciting. That was easy. Okay, hair. We did a base coat of Y145, and so I have pulled 3 colors here, and the first is Burnt Umber will be our darkest, and then Burnt Siena, and then we have Raw Umber. So we're going to take our darkest pencil here and put in some shadows. So we kind of always want to move in the same direction that the hair is moving. And then we just want to get that shadow in. Pencils go very well over marker. They just, I love it. I think they blend so nicely. Especially the Polychromos. I tend to base coat with markers quite a bit when I use Polychromos pencils. They are not as opaque as a wax pencil because they are an oil pencil. So they're not as opaque, and so to have that marker color underneath, it just helps so that you don't have to do so many layers of pencils. We just want to get in some shadows. So I'm just kind of picking them out where it kind of looks darker in her line drawing, or where one piece of hair is kind of falling over another piece of hair. That's kind of how I'm picking out what pieces I want to do darker, and then I'm always moving in the same direction as the hair. Now this ear, we'll probably cast a shadow, so we'll put in some darker around the ear there. And then back here, back behind the ear as well. Okay, so I'll just continue to do that all over his head of hair here, but let's go ahead and add our other colors. Actually, I like to do the eyebrows just a tad darker than the hair. So I tend to, whatever pencil I'm using as my darkest color, I like to put it on my eyebrows, especially along the lower part of the eyebrow. Just kind of flick it in there. Little strokes, because it's not very long hair, so you would just have little strokes. Okay. Maybe on a man it doesn't need to be quite as... Okay, I don't know. Careful, I don't know. I mean, we don't want to make him look like he's recently had a threading done or something, you know, but men can take care of their eyebrows too. Please don't let them grow to 2 inches off your face, okay? Like, take a trimmer, take care of those things. That's one thing. My father-in-law and my husband, they're always like, you tell us if our eyebrows get too long. Like, we don't want to be out in public with these bushy eyebrows. They're so funny about it. Okay, so this is Burnt Siena. So this is our middle color, and we're going to go ahead and kind of finish filling in the eyebrow, because I don't really want to use the lightest color, because I want the eyebrows to seem like a shade darker than the hair. So my eyebrows are quite a bit darker than my natural hair color, so maybe that's why I like to do my eyebrows darker when I'm coloring, but I don't know if that's the way everybody is. What is this? All right, where was I? I got distracted. I got a text from my boy's teacher, so making sure that everything is okay. It is. It's fine. So he'd had an ear infection over the break. This is the Burnt Siena still. So we did the eyebrows. Now I'm taking it into the hair, and I'm going to go right over the darker color and then fade it out. So anyways, so he'd had an ear infection over the holiday break, which is not fun. He got pretty sick, poor little guy. And anyways, I guess we took him to the doctor, and he's gotten meds, and he's great. But the doctor, when he looked in his ears, told him that he has a lot of earwax in his ear and that it needs to be cleaned out. But the doctor wants to wait to have it cleaned out because he wants his ear to be completely healed, or it's going to really hurt to clean it out. And I guess he's telling his teachers something that he has a lot of earwax, and so they're like wanting to make sure I know that he thinks he has a lot of earwax. So, you know, little kids, they talk about a lot of things, but they don't always know what they're talking about. But sometimes they'll say things to their teachers, you know, that they don't say to me. And so it's nice, especially with special needs kids, to have their teacher reach out and say, hey, are you aware? Because sometimes I'm not aware because they don't tell me. They're not thinking about it, or it's not a problem when they're with me. So I don't know. So I'm just putting this in, trying to put in like strands, trying to line up some areas. This is kind of gonna be we're gonna be pretty heavy on this color, but we're still going to make sure that we're moving in the same direction that the hair flows. There we go. So we're just going to put this in and make sure we go over the darker color so that it blends well. You guys don't need to contort your hand in funny shapes. You can move your paper around. I try to keep my paper in one spot because it's easier for editing purposes and easier for you guys to see what's going on, but you can, when I'm not filming, I move my paper all over the place. So feel free to do so. Okay, so we're just gonna fill this in. Okay, then we have our, let me just put these kind of strands in, kind of make them pop a little bit. Okay. Then we have our lightest color, which is the Raw Umber, and we can put this in as well, kind of fill it in. We also have that marker color to work with, so if we like that color, no problem. We don't have to fill in absolutely everything because we have that marker to cover us. So we can put this color in as well. And again, we just want to make sure we're moving with the hair rather than against the hair. And then we can just fill it in. Just have fun with it. Watch a TV show, relax, listen to a podcast, listen to YouTube, watch YouTube. Just take your time and put those strands wherever you want them. And you can always go back and get one of the darker colors again if you think something needs to be darker, and you can go back and forth. Ooh, I'm throwing stuff around here. So we can go back to that sienna. Put some more strands of this in there. Blend it in a few more places. And with that darker color, we can come in and darken something. We think, oh, this really needs to be darker right here. This right under here needs to be darker. We can just move back and forth. Just have fun. Ooh, my goodness. Okay. Okay, then for his skin tone, we base coated it with E90, which is eggshell white. Of course, it doesn't look very white. I don't know if I would, whatever. Okay, so I've picked a few pencils here. Let's start with this one. This is called Mortuum. This is 169, and this is going to give us some shading. So we'll put this in those darker shaded areas. Now, Anastasia Koldareva, she gives us some nice stippling so that we kind of have a starting place as to where those shadows might be, which is very helpful. Very nice of her, especially in this ear region. Gives us a good spot to start. Now, my pressure is very light and I have a very sharp pointed pencil. Nice thing about Polychromos is that they'll stay sharp longer than our Prismacolors will, so that is nice. Don't have to sharpen them as much. And we can kind of put this along the hairline as well because we have some shading there. Give him a little bit of a shadow here. She has her stippling kind of coming out. So we'll go ahead and do the same thing with this color. We'll just do it very lightly. We can always build that color up more later if we want. And then along his jawline. Okay, now she has some stippling. We'll go ahead and give him a little bit more, just very softly. And then this side of his face is going to be more in the shadow because it's turned away from us. So we will want to put this color in there. And I have to make sure that I don't shade his upper eyelid the way I do for women, or we'll make him look like he's got some makeup on. So I'm going to be a little bit careful here. There we go. All right, and then we'll take this across his hairline on the top. This eye, again, we just don't want to make him look like he's wearing makeup, but he's still going to have some shadows. So we don't want to forget them. And then we have his nose, kind of shade around it. It kind of has like a little dimple there for his nostril. Okay. All right. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and put this on his lip as well. So, okay. Remember, we can always come back and darken things later too. Just because we've used it once doesn't mean we can't use it again and come back with it. So let's get his neck, which is going to be in the shadow because his head is casting a shadow on it. All right, then we'll set that one aside and let's grab, I wonder if this is a little too pink for what I want. Yeah, let's grab cinnamon. So cinnamon, we are going to go right over the top of the Cape Mortuum and then bring it out past. We're going to do that all over. So anywhere that we've put that Cape Mortuum, we can go right over it with the cinnamon and fade it out. And I think I'm going to put a little of this on the top here where his hair is kind of touching. Give it a little bit of a shadow. Using a soft pressure, if I want something darker, I can go back and go over it again. We'll go ahead and shade that Cape Mortuum out with the cinnamon. I'm going to take this color down around our dragon here. Okay, so that puts our cinnamon down. Now we have, this is Beige Red. It has another name as well. I think it's light skin if you have an older set. My because mine is a few years old. It came with a light skin, but when I ordered a new one, it says Beige Red. So it's 132 and it goes by either name. Just so if you're looking in yours and you can't find Beige Red, that's what is going on. So 132, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna just lightly go over the other two colors, the Caput Mortuum and the Cinnamon. And then we are going to just kind of fade it out. And you don't have to cover everything because you do have that marker color down that will cover anything that you decide not to. So you'll not have any white peeking through. So you just put as much down until you like what it looks like. And if you need to go back and darken something up, you can very easily just grab another one of the other pencils and do it. So again, just relax, enjoy the process, breathe. I am watching Chicago Med while I am doing this, so that's why it is fast forward and you have some music to listen to, because this takes a while. Doing skin and hair takes a while. This is not a 5-10 minute project. This is, I'm working fast, and this is an hour or two. So if you're taking your time and just enjoying it, it can take a long time, and that's okay. The whole idea is just to relax and enjoy the process. And if you have to finish it in a couple of different sittings, that is okay. Okay, he's looking really good, I think. Because I'm about out of time for today, my boys are about to arrive, we're gonna call him good. You'll notice that I left like a kind of a highlight area on his nose, on his lip, his ear, kind of those high points of the face to kind of bring some light and 3-dimension to him. I think he looks fabulous. So 3 colors, a marker, hey, pretty darn good. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Next time we will do the dragon. I am probably going to paint a black. I'm going to probably paint a black background, whether or not that will be now or after the dragon. It might be after the dragon, but I think that will also kind of help things pop as well. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up, give it a like, share it with your friend, share it with your neighbor, share it with your mom, share it with whoever has a beating heart near you. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend, that you find time to de-stress, to relax, to take some deep breaths, throw some color around, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!